Hey, what's up? Doug Cunnington here from the Niche Site Project, and in this video, my friend Nick and I talk about mastermind groups. So mastermind groups have been instrumental in my growth online and being an entrepreneur. I started almost within like 2 months of learning about online business to forming a mastermind group, and I've been in several over the years. For me, it's really been instrumental. So I give Nick a few tips on forming mastermind groups and sort of how to structure meetings so people get stuff like meaningful things out of the meeting. So let's get over to this discussion now. Hey, what's up? Doug Cunnington here, and I'm with my friend Nick. Nick, what's up today?
How's it going, Doug?
Doing pretty well. Today we're going to talk about mastermind groups, and for me, mastermind groups have been instrumental in helping me grow as a business person and just learning about niche sites and just in general. So background is I formed a mastermind group as soon as I got started with online marketing. So this was back in the Smart Passive Income Niche Site Project or Niche Site Challenge 2. And there was a forum. So I pulled together about 6 people and got moving. And I had literally no experience, but there were a few people that were ahead of me. And that sort of like was the start for me with masterminds. After that, I've been in, probably 5 or 6 others. And again, they've been instrumental in like just helping me out. Now, Nick, you emailed me a couple weeks ago about mastermind groups, and kind of tell me where you're at and kind of what you're looking for, I guess, as far as mastermind groups go.
Yeah, sure. So actually through your Facebook group, through the private 5-figure niche site course Facebook group that you get access to when you get the course, there was someone in there that was proposed if anyone is looking to form a small group, we could all get together and talk about our niche sites. And so I joined that, and there's 4 of us right now, and it's really great. We all bounce ideas off of each other. And, we all share our success, and everyone's really positive. And I think that the group meshes really well together right now. And so, but what I reached out to you about is that I just wanted to see, like, if everyone's kind of started from the same spot, or if everyone's in the same spot, how do you get more out of the group? And in your experience, were all of your groups, when you formed them, was everyone in the same spot? Or did you have some people who are maybe above you or had more experience and they were passing down their knowledge? Or was everyone kind of learning together, and then that's how the group grew? And so I'd love to hear your take on that.
Good question. So in the first group that I was in, there was kind of a wide range. So you could imagine the Smart Passive Income like project, that whole like forum brought in a lot of different people. And, I put out a call, and it ended up a call being like in the forum I posted, got people's information, and I actually like talked to each one of them individually. So we did end up with a range of people. And I remember there was a guy in the group who I thought was like so like beyond me. He was making $3 a day. And I thought, wow, this guy has figured it out. And, I shouldn't even be talking to him. Like he's doing really well. And I remember telling my wife that after the meeting. So of course, fast forward like a few months, I was doing much better than that. So the point is, there were some people with like 0 experience and actually like never launched their site. And then there were a few other people that had 2 or 3 sites and kind of knew what was going on. So as far as like getting more out of the group, well, and one thing to add, everyone, no matter what their experience or success level is, they can bring some expertise to the table. Mine, as you know, I constantly talk about the project management stuff and the organizational systems and that sort of thing, because it's a set of skills that people want to have, but often they haven't been trained on it. And I have credentials and experience that I could lean on. So I'm lucky, but everyone has something like that. You have a unique set of skills. Everyone has that. So you just have to like make sure you're tapping into that. Number one, make sure everyone, if they're an expert in, I'm struggling to come up with something, but let's say they worked in restaurants their whole life, they have really good customer service and hospitality understanding, which when it comes down to it is close to sales, and they probably have a unique take on ideas that you may not have. So everyone has that. The second part is the structure of your meetings and how often you meet. One of the big advantages of mastermind groups is the accountability portion, and just saying, hey, I'm going to accomplish these one or two things over the next 2 weeks or whatever your meeting interval is. Saying you're going to do that gives you a reason to focus. You're going to have to go and report back to the group and say, I accomplished it or I didn't. So I have another one as well, but do you guys and gals meet on a regular basis and use it as an accountability group?
Well, see, that's a great point, because actually we don't right now. It's just it's very informal chat group, essentially. There is no meeting. And so that's a great point that you bring up. And did you ever have to go from something similar to that? Let's say maybe you guys were just all emailing back and forth, and then did someone come along and say, hey, let's make this a formal thing? Or how would you go about making it more formal and
Right.
And maybe cementing that in as having like monthly or bi-monthly or bi-weekly meetings, etc.?
Cool. So I think basically the groups that I've been in, I have been the hub, right? So I'm the facilitator. Another skill in the project management arena is like just running meetings, have a loose agenda. The agendas are super easy. I mean, basically there's many different formats, but usually like one big win from the last, week or two. And then one person maybe has like a hot seat where they are talking for 20 minutes on a specific problem. Everyone gives their input. And then at the end of the meeting, you can say like your one or two goals for the next period. So the thing is, I've never been in a group where you just have a chat. There's always a meeting component. I've always at least gotten that part started. Maybe, we trade off, or someone else types up the agenda, which is usually just, a template, right? So you just make a new copy. You can use whatever tool you want, Evernote, Google Docs, whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is the meeting is the most important. So what you have right now is a chat room, right? It's like the mastermind group that people say they have a Facebook mastermind group. And really it's just a big like Facebook group with a bunch of noise. So the mastermind group, you do have to meet. And I would say, starting off, it may be great to meet like once a week for about a month so you can get to know each other. There's a lot of trust involved. Like you're bringing your biggest problems, like you end up talking about personal stuff because everything overlaps, right? If you're, for me, like I'm talking business stuff, but there's a big component because, I have a wife and like we have other things and priorities going on. So it's not all business all the time. There's a lot of trust. So meeting often early is probably a good idea. And then bi-weekly, depending on how much like your group is doing and how much time people can dedicate, like bi-weekly gives people enough time to do some meaningful work. A lot of times if you meet every week, you'll find that, okay, like once you've laid the groundwork and everyone knows each other well, every 2 weeks is pretty good. Now, I know like around the holidays or even in the summer for vacations, there will be periods where we need to cancel the meeting. It's not convenient for, half the group. We'll cancel the meeting, we'll pick it up, and it gives people time to breathe, take a little break and all that stuff. So I said a lot there. Meetings are required. What follow-ups do you have on that?
Yeah, no, that's all makes sense, because without the meeting, you're, you put a lot of accountability on yourself and others. And then also you get that leverage. So if you show up to the meeting and you haven't done anything, that's you're holding yourself accountable to others as well. And exactly. Sometimes the chat can be a little noisy and we won't hear from someone for a while and have to catch up on, 200 plus messages. And at that point, it can be very discouraging and you're not really getting everyone's input, or you're not getting the value out of everyone. And I think that's also a great point about, I know them by name and their little Facebook picture, but how much do I really know them, and how much do I know about everyone's skills, individual skills in the group? Most of them, I have no idea what they do as for their living, if they have, family, like you said. So I think those meetings could really help to kind of suss out the details of everyone's life and what they bring to the table. Yeah.
Cool. And one, Final thing that I'll mention is it's interesting because most of the groups that I've been in, I have been like the worst person. Like I have the least accomplishments most of the time because like if you can come in as the hub, like you send out some invitations, you can reach out to bloggers, right? Like Rob and I have an interview coming out in the next few weeks here. Rob reached out to me and we're in a mastermind group. We have been for, almost 3+ years. And of course, business partners, good friends and all that stuff. He just reached out to me and with networking, he didn't come with an ask, but networking, and it just worked out magically, right? So the point is, if you are the hub, you're pulling people together. People hate scheduling meetings. People hate coming up with the agendas. The easy admin stuff that I'm fine with doing, right? I got used to it over years at the corporate job. But if you do that part, you can, hit above your weight class and work with people that are 1-2 steps ahead of you just because you're pulling it together. So there are other stories that I could think of, examples. I think the key one that I recall, and maybe I'll do a little bit more analysis on this, but Jamie Tardy from Eventual Millionaire, I think she has a different last name, contacted Pat Flynn to form a mastermind group. And, she didn't have the credentials that she has now and all the accomplishments. But through persistence and pulling other people together, she was able to get Pat Flynn in the group. Obviously, good person to have in your network and to talk to on like a weekly or bi-weekly basis. So, all right, cool. I think we've given people some stuff to chew on. Thanks, Nick, for hopping on. If people want to ask more questions about mastermind groups, ask in the comments. It's a topic that I love. I have some friends in town here in Bozeman that are big on the mastermind idea as well. Yeah, I think mastermind groups are great. If you're not in a mastermind group, you should get in one. All right, thanks, Nick. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Doug.
All right, thanks, Nick, for spending time with me today. If you have questions about mastermind groups, or if you're thinking you want to form a mastermind group, leave comments below. You could probably connect with people in one fashion or another if they are watching the video and they spent the time to leave a comment about forming a mastermind group. Those are probably the kind of people you want to form a group with. So anyway, if you like the channel, please consider subscribing, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.